Bande Matram, welcome all of you. Here, the topic of discussion for this morning will be on success and failure. That is the topic of discussion. We will discuss on success and failure. So, these are the we feel sometimes they're contrary terms. But deeply thinking, where there is no success, there is failure. If you feel nothing like failure, because there is a meaning in a curve and a line already we have known. So failure means lack of success, absence of success. So anyway, we will see what mother describes clearly here. You must not judge things from an outer success or a semblance of defeat. From semblance of defeat or outer success, things must not be judged. We may say, generally, that is what almost always happen. From the outer point of view, we view entire thing from outwardly, superficially, and from semblance of whatever been looked out artificially outwardly. From that point of view, we evaluate all these things. So we could see that the divine gives what one desires. From the outward and external or superficial terms, we will go to the point of divinity. The divine gives what one desires, and of all lessons, that is the best. Which is the best for us? Now it seems it is a failure, it is a success, it is a dark, it is light, it is truth, it is falsehood, it is agony, this is pleasure. Something like this we take in our external vision. But think inwardly, you just look back, stable for some time, look back, and you will find whatever the you done, whatever is given to us by the divine, it is for the best of us. And of all lessons, this is the best. For if your desire is inconscient, obscure, egoistic, from aspiration, mother is coming to the point of desire. If your desire is inconscient, second, obscure, third, egoistic, so you increase the if they increase your unconsciousness, that's what really happens normally. Some desire will be there, and this desire is inconscient, obscure, and egoistic. Then you can find some unconsciousness of there, unconsciousness, darkness, and egoism. That is, they are very much prominent. You can see inconscient, obscure, egoistic desires will bring unconsciousness, darkness, and egoism within yourself. That is to say, that takes further and further away from the truth, from consciousness, and from happiness. So, within this sentence, Mother has explained a lot of things. So, means Mother first quotes of the desire. If desire is packed with three things: inconscience, obscure, and egoistic, then what you have these three things increases three things in you: unconsciousness, darkness, and egoism within yourself. And that which what is the output you can find, it takes you further and further from the truth and from consciousness and from happiness. That's what is the true meaning and the true output we get. Then it takes far away from the divine. It is the great thing. Far away from the divine. This desire which is bringing unconsciousness, obscurity, and the ego. So that creates unconsciousness, darkness, and egoism, for which you are going further away from the truth, consciousness, and happiness. That's what really happening here. So naturally, the only thing is true, the divine consciousness. That's what must be taken care of. The only thing that is true, that is divine consciousness and the divine union. The two things are very much common. You must find that is divine consciousness and the divine union. Those are true. And each time you put the material things in front, you become more and more materialistic and go further and further from the divine, the great thing. Whenever you are preoccupied with the idea of materialism, material success, material advance, then actually you are going far and far, further away from the divine full success. Mother here quotes the full success. Success is to find the divine, to manifest the divine, to become the divine, and to live in the divine. So these are the things you are going further and further from the from all full success then mother course. But for the truth, the other success are terrible defeats. For other that other success is a terrible defeat. You have exchanged truth for falsehood. That is what mother quotes. You have exchanged truth for falsehood. That's what you have done. That's what you have taken care, and that's what is happening really. And you have exchanged truth for falsehood. If thing is that with the divine life is bliss, without the divine life is a painful illusion. And Sri Aurobindo is having a very nice judgment. He has a clear message. It is not the divine who made man cruel, wicked. It is not God who made man wicked. It is man who made himself wicked by running away from the God. That is what is happening. That is what the truth. So here, to judge from appearances, whatever is being seen, to judge from appearances and apparent success is precisely an art of complete ignorance. Very interesting, complete ignorance to judge everything from outward appearances and apparent success. If you are judging, that is a failure, complete ignorance. Even for the most, hardened man, most hardened man for whom everything is apparently been successful, even for him there is always a counterpart. Even there is also a counterpart. They are hardened. They have taken the things in one direction, the second direction, the opposite one they have already forgotten. That is what is happening. So what happens? And the kind of hardening is hardening. The kind of hardening of the being is what is which is produced, the veil which is formed, the mother course of a veil that is formed, a thicker and a thicker veil. That is what mother course, that the veil is formed, and that is thicker and thicker between the outer consciousness and the inner truth, becomes one day or another altogether intolerable. Intolerable, it can't be tolerated. That is what the situation, because knowing the truth will be a very difficult thing for you, because you are veiled. And the veil, these are first of things, they are hardened. Second thing, they are veiled, and the veil becomes quicker, thicker and thicker. So from they are staying between the more on the outer consciousness than between the inner truth. Very difficult for them to know and to calculate, evaluate the inner truth. Even to reach the inner truth, it will be a very, it is a high hill task. It is usually paid for every forever for very dearly outer success. That's all. Outer success, which our small successes are failures of the soul. Sri Aurobindo has explained clearly. Our small successes are failures of the soul. We are, because we are staying confined. Suppose you are supposed to go towards the supermanhood. For that, with that vision, you have come. But the thing is that you are staying confined to the small pleasures and the small happinesses, small weaknesses like your family, job, roti kapda makan. You are staying confined and you are pleased. But when you will feel that the vision of the as my arrival, the vision with which I came, what is my purpose? If one day I analyze truly, it will be very tough, already gone. It is too late. Then almost one a life is gone. As usually, simply you are wasting your time per day. For one day, then you feel one day is clearly torn out on the page of your story. From the book, one page is clearly turned out. You are sitting idle. So you have to wait for the next day. Here, next day is possible or impossible. That is a different thing. Even if it is possible, you have to think of reciting the old study and the what have been already gone past. That's what you have to do. But the thing is that here the scenario is totally different. One life and the second life, you don't know when it is come. What will be the gap? For that, don't delay and don't stay in your outer success. then one must be very great, very pure, and very high, and very disinterested spiritual consciousness in order to be successful without being affected by it. Mother is having a very nice comment, very nice observation, very great, very pure, very high, and very disinterested spiritual consciousness in order to be successful without being affected by it. For that you must be, that purity must be there, that greatness, that highness will be there, that disinterestedness must be there in you, so that you will be never be affected. Nothing is more difficult than being successful. This is indeed a true test of life, very interesting. Nothing is more difficult than being successful. Being successful means not that material success mother is quoting, but thing is that it is a spiritual point of view mother is quoting. Spiritual success, that is most difficult to achieve. Most difficult. Most difficult, you can imagine how it will come. It is maybe initially it will be easy swimming for you, easy trading for you, easy going for you, but later you will find like a lot of things you have to be done. You have to be very careful. When you don't succeed, quite naturally you turn back on yourself and within yourself, and you seek within yourself the consolation for your outer failure. Naturally, there is failure. There is failure. Not to succeed. Quite naturally, you will on yourself, within yourself. You seek within yourself. So, what happens? You have some the coalition, consolation of your outer failure. You have failed, for that you need consolation. You console, or somebody comes and consoles. That is what. And those who have a flame within them, but mother comes with the other aspect. The people who are having the spiritual progress, flame within them. If the divine really wants to help them, if there is mature enough to be helped, if they are really follow the path, blows will come one after another because of this, because this helps. Blows will come, no problem, but actually these blows have a inner help for you. It is helpful. This will help definitely. So blows will come one after another because it helps. It is the most powerful, most direct, most effective. Mother quotes in very various types. It is actually most powerful, then actually most direct, most effective help. That is what, because the blows will be coming. These blows are the helpers, and these helps in different ways, like most powerful, most direct, most effective help. If you succeed, be on your guard. Ask yourself, at what price, what cost I have brought the success. I hope it is not the step backwards. So it is not the step forward. Just imagine how difficulties are coming, how they are helpful, and just try to analyze yourself and what price, what cost I got got the success. I hope it is not a step forward. Then mother comes forward again. There are those who have gone beyond this. They have stepped forward. They have crossed some limits. Those who are conscious of their soul. First, mother quotes, gone beyond. Second, conscious of their soul. Those who have given themselves entirely, and those like this. So for them, they have given themselves. They are conscious enough, and they have gone beyond. So for them, an absolutely pure, disinterested, and succeed without without it affecting and touching them. So they are coming in another ways. They don't have any interest. They are disinterested. They are pure. They are conscious. So they don't get attached. Don't get affected. They don't get touched here. Then it is different. But one must be very high able to bear the success. Very interesting. One must be very high to be able to bear success. Success are coming. It is there. But for that, actually, you must have the bearing capacity. You must have the base, so that you can at least be able to bear the success. And after all, It is perhaps the last test which the divine gives to anyone. Now, now that you are noble, you are disinterested, you have no egoism, you belong only to me. That is what the thing. If you have crossed over all these tests, then naturally the presence of the divine you can find. Test which the divine gives to anyone. Now you are noble. Second, you are disinterested. Third, you have no egoism. You belong only to me. I am going to take you triumph. You are going to see it will be pulled out. So that is the thing. Then only with these talks, with these promises, you can find something I have achieved in life, and that is a great thing, great achievement. So don't stay on the outward dreams, your outward signs. Don't stay more. You come into your true consciousness. And the Sri Aurobindo is having one good observation on success, and distrust a perfect seeming success. Distrust, because nothing like this. It is like this, and the failures are, of course, that has been explained by the Sri Aurobindo. It is by great and noble failures that humanity successes. So small successes are failures of the soul. So you have to find whatever is being done, whatever is being given. There is a purpose behind it. You must remember there is a purpose. There is an objective. Souls that don't aspire are God's failure. Not that you are going for a cricket match, you are losing the match, and you are coming, getting drunk somewhere, or creating some chaos, and you are getting beating somebody and getting beaten. Blood is throughout your face, your shirt is torn. That is not the success, or that is the measure of success. Or in other words, those people who have won, they are enjoying merrymaking, shouting, creating chaos. These are not the success. These are all external things. And here, success and failures here in the course, that is, souls that don't aspire are God's failure. I have failed, thou shalt sayest. Say rather, God is circling about towards His object. Whatever is necessary, He is creating. I am here to be created. So that instrument personality you must have. Anyway, this is everything all about sadhana, about the inner success, and not about the outer seeming failures. Bande Matram.